Our economic system is made up of three different players. You have the businesses. These are the entrepreneurs that are going out and starting businesses. You have the investors that are investing in and owning a piece of the businesses. And then you have the consumers. Everybody is a consumer. Rich people, middle class people, poor people, everybody is a consumer because everybody has to eat, everybody needs a place to live, everybody needs to buy things, so everybody is a consumer. Well, now let's play the system out. Consumers go out and they spend money in businesses, and when they spend money in businesses, yes, the entrepreneur benefits, but so does the investor, because when businesses make more money, the investors make more money. But now let's go back a little bit to the things that I was just talking about. Our economic system is designed to create inflation. Inflation has been a hot topic since the pandemic, but inflation didn't start during the pandemic. It started many decades before the pandemic. So now, if our economic system is designed to create inflation, because remember, we have the Federal Reserve Bank, who has the ability to print money. They're printing money because the government keeps spending money that they don't have. And, well, there's no limit to how much money that they can print because our currency or our money is not backed by any precious metals or anything else. So there is the ability to print more and more money. So now, if our system has the ability to produce more inflation, well, what does that mean? Inflation means now, hopefully, that people are going to get a raise. Like, we have seen household incomes rise, although it's not as fast as the price of things, but household incomes have gone up, which means spending ability has gone up. So now if consumers have more ability to spend, that's great. Now you can buy more things, or so you think. The price of things keep rising. But now if businesses start to get more dollars because the price of things go up, that means businesses are benefiting more because now more dollars are going to the businesses, which also means now that investors are growing as well. And that's why you've seen asset prices rise faster than incomes. And this is one of the reasons why you keep hearing of this growing wealth gap. It's not because just people are making more money, it's because people own more assets. And asset prices are rising faster than incomes. And so now, if you have seen this growth in the wealth between these people, that means that people need to stop just being consumers and start being investors or entrepreneurs. Now, not everybody's meant to be an entrepreneur, not everybody's meant to start a business, but every single person in the United States needs to be a business owner. Again, this does not mean you need to go out and start a company. This does not mean you need to go out and operate a company. This does not mean you need to go out and manage a company, but you need to start taking your money and start owning a piece of the economy. You need to start owning a piece of the businesses. And the way you do that is by taking some of your income and becoming an investor at the very least, because that means now you are putting your money to work as opposed to just spending all of your money, because when you are just a consumer, and most Americans are just consumers. So you can start to see why most people get broker and feel poorer without even understanding why. Even though you think you did everything right, you got a good job, you're trying to live within your means, yet here you are still trying to figure out how do you now start building your own wealth? Because, well, our inflation in this system, thanks to the Federal Reserve Bank, creates this hidden tax called inflation. And I call it a hidden tax because the person who pays the price is the person who does not understand inflation. And if you don't understand inflation, well, now you can understand why it makes the majority of people feel broker without even seeing it happen, because the Federal Reserve Bank wants to have a low enough inflation number that most people don't even see it happen. This is why you hear the Federal Reserve Bank talking about, oh, we would love to see inflation at around 2%. Why 2%? Why not 0%? And the reason why is because they want to continue growing the economic system, because if more inflation happens, more spending can happen, which means more of the business and the investors can grow, which grows the economic system. That's how our economic system works. And so if the goal is to continue growing the economic system, they want to create an inflation level that's just there enough that doesn't create any panic that most people really even notice. But if you look at it over a long enough period of time, that's when you can start to see the impacts of it. But most people are not looking at financial data over a number of decades to see how inflation has impacted their wealth ability. And this is where now it becomes crucially more important for you to become financially educated, because if you want to win in this game, you can do everything right. You can go to school, get good grades, get a good degree, get a good job. But if you don't understand money, it is going to be impossible for you to ever build wealth. And this is where a lot of people say, oh, well, investing is risky. And yes, it is risky. You will probably lose money at some point. That's a part of investing. But the goal is to make way more than you lose, and you can never get to the winnings unless you get started and you get those losses. But now, if you want to be able to invest your money just from a practical perspective, that means now that you can't spend all of your money. And that means now you have to take some of the money that you didn't spend and you have to put it to work. Now, I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritties of how to start investing in this video. You can check out our ebook if you want to learn more about that. But now, if you want to be able to invest, one of the things that can help you with that is earning more money. Because if you have more money coming in, now hopefully you will have more money to invest. And this is where knowing how to manage your money first is important, because the big mistake that a lot of people make, especially in America, is you say, oh, if I just made an extra $10,000 a year, all my financial problems would be solved. And then when you go out and you actually earn that raise, you get that promotion, what ends up happening to a lot of people is you get a better car. You get a nicer home, you go on a nicer vacation, you start buying more things, and now all of a sudden you got that raise, but you're nowhere near where you thought you would be after you got that raise, because now you're even broker than you were before, because now you have more liabilities. And so what you have to understand is the first thing you have to be able to do is, number one, control your spending. You have to be able to manage your money. I have tons of videos on my channel. My ebook goes over that. You have to know how to control your spending. You have to be able to control your money. Once you know how to do that, then the next thing is, okay, I have a system with my money. I know how to invest my money. I'm putting some of my money to work. I like this investing thing. Now, if you want to be able to do more, you got to be able to get more money. Now, how do you get more money? Now, again, this could be straight from your job. You can work to get a raise. You can work to get a promotion. You can work to get a bonus. You can work to start a second job. You can work to get a career change. There's an unlimited number of ways to get that from your career, or you can work to create your own income as well. And I can tell you that nowadays, earning money has become much more accessible than ever before. Is it easier? No. Is it easy? No. But it is much more accessible. And as you start to get through this financial education game, what you will see is that if I invest more money, I will be able to build more wealth. Not rocket science, but what you will see is that you can do that. Now, if you want to be able to attract more money, you have to find what is the right path for you. For some of you, it is going to be from your job. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know why people on the internet make it seem like being an employee is a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with being an employee. I'm an employee at my own company. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to understand how you can also grow your income. And maybe that means outside of a job, maybe that means in your job, but at the very least, you have to, every single person has to be an investor. And if you are not an investor yet, this is the time for you to work on that financial education, to work on putting that money aside. That way you can become an investor, because over the next 5 decades, it is going to be exponentially more important. It is going to become exponentially more valuable. Because if you think we're going to go back to what life was like in 1971, where one income household was enough to support the family and save for retirement and have your financial freedom, well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but that's not how it's going to work. And who knows what life is going to be like in 5 years? We don't know what the next 5 decades or 5 years are going to look like with inflation. The Federal Reserve Bank has predictions. No one really knows. But what we do know is that that financial education can protect you, and it can help guide you, and it can help you live your life the way you want. Because if you keep relying on everybody else to take care of you, you become you're in their mercy, and you kind of become their slave, and nobody wants to do that. And this is where it is so important for you to, again, I know I'm rambling here, build that financial education, start investing, and then work to earn more money so you have more money to invest. That is the real secret to breaking out of this financial system. And I'm telling you this so passionately because I wish somebody would have told me this. I went through that same thing. I went to school, I went to college, I went to law school, and I never once learned a thing about money. Never once learned a thing about investing. Never once learned a thing about passive income or cash flow or building wealth or retirement planning. No one ever told me these things. I had to go out and learn it my own. I was fortunate that I was able to learn this early because of things that I started doing, my own entrepreneurial ventures. But this is really the way that the average person now can go out and start building their own wealth, is by understanding money, working to invest their money, and then working to increase the income. That way you can have more assets, period. If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide on how to start generating passive income for free. All you gotta do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.